It's deja vu all over again.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias live from Studio K, brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Don't forget to become a member of the Inner Circle.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. We're back home. I made it back into the studio. We survived Vegas. And yeah, it's deja vu all over again because last night's Suns Summer League game looked an awful lot like games that we dealt with last year. Even Gerald Bourguet tweeting, well, this was not exactly the performance I was expecting from the Suns with everyone available. And I responded, is this tweet from January? Because we felt like we dealt with that so much over the last two seasons where injuries were a problem, then everybody came back, and sometimes it just looked worse than it looked before. But guess what? I've got fantastic news for you. The NBA Summer League is like, whose line is it anyway? It's all made up, and the points don't matter because it's all just glorified practice, and there's nothing to overly be concerned about. Sure, they had 19 turnovers. Well, guess what? They've got 2 point guards that are going to be in the G League when it comes down to it, and they've had like a week and a half of practice. Turnovers are something that happen in Vegas more often than puke and rallies, all right? It's just something that comes with the territory of Summer League. Maluach had 8 points, 5 rebounds, only shot 3 of 9. Okay. Koby Brea, who all of you were wanting to say was the next Devin Booker, and we had that talk yesterday. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, and was 1 of 9 shooting. Stroke looked good. He was just 1 of 9 shooting. And Rasheer Fleming, who made his Summer League debut, 7 points, 3 rebounds, a block, a steal, 3 of 6 shooting. Not bad. The word I almost said probably would have been bad there. You can tell it's a day after getting back from Vegas after being on vacation. But look, none of it matters all that much. Sure, it's nice to get a feel for these guys and see them out there. Sure, it's great to get to talk with them as media members and let fans see what they're about. But Summer League, like I've said before, is about trying things, working on different parts of your game, trying to figure out the pace of NBA play in some cases, or certain styles that you're going to play in the new offense you're being integrated into. But this isn't the offense that Jordan Ott is going to run. Sure, there's probably small principles of it that are in there, but they're not going to run this kind of offense in the regular season. It's about practice. Yeah, we're talking about practice, not real games, but practice. And that's not that big of a deal. I understand it. People want something to watch, and we've been so trained to be frustrated by it, and that's okay. But I am not overly concerned when it comes to any one of the rookies that we saw and how they played in Monday night's game, or some of the different things we've seen throughout the 3 games they've played in Vegas. It's a byproduct of Summer League, and it'll all be fine. And sure, the Summer Suns that everybody thought had the best roster in the Summer League, or at least one of them, and some of the best, ability to potentially win a Summer League championship, they're not getting the ring that has 350 fake diamonds in it. Because just like those diamonds, the games are fake. These stats don't count for them, and they're not going to count at all. They're here for a little summer entertainment. They're here to get some work in with guys that they're going to be playing with. But in the end, what matters is what starts to happen in October. And no, I'm not talking preseason. I'm talking actual games. And that's when we're going to be able to decide if Rasheer Fleming, Khaman Maluach, and Koby Brea are going to have a place in this rotation and where this Suns team will be with them. But right now, just have fun with a little basketball. That's all that we're here for right now. but maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac to the program, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, how are you? Are we concerned about the performance on Monday?
No, but I'm concerned about your performance.
I am a little rusty right now.
You almost said the S word.
I did.
That would have been really bad.
I almost said shiitake mushrooms. Mm-hmm. It would have been awful. Yeah. I'm not concerned. What I am concerned about, Shane, and I want to talk about this, is somebody moved our desk. I'm sitting like a foot closer to the camera than I usually am, and I am uncomfortable.
The desk in the meadow?
Yeah. No. Not the desk in the middle. The actual desk I'm sitting in. And I'm telling you, that's why my performance was slightly off in the monologue. I was uncomfortable because this is not the home I left.
So you're making excuses.
I am. That's it. That's what Summer League is for. Is some excuses too. Okay. I'm uncomfortable right now.
I'm uncomfortable too.
Should I take a minute to actually move the desk during the show? No, I won't do that.
No. Concern level is 0. I didn't watch any of the game, so
I watched some of the lowlights. For you, those of you watching, hit the like button. Two dislikes right now. Come on.
Really?
Yeah, That's dislikes.
Sweet.
I mean, good on us, right? 22 of you watching. Get in the comments too. I want to hear what you have to say as well with it. But overall, Summer League has been fine. I'm not overly concerned on that front. What I am interested in is when we are going to get this Bradley Beal news. It is now, what are we looking at? We're like a week and a half after everybody expected it. We heard words like imminent on Friday from multiple media members. I know today was the day that big check was hitting his bank account. But what I want is, hey, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, whoever is chasing Bradley Beal, just make an agreement with him. Put us out of the long misery that we've been dealing with here. Driving and Delivering says Maluach looks a little slow with bad hands. I think SPG was right on draft day to say Coward should have been the pick. The kid's 18. I mean, I'm not going to panic that, he's a little slow in Summer League or, he has not been ideal with his hands. He's also not playing with true point guards in an offense that has any flow or, realness to it. So, and big men, it takes a little time to adjust. So I'm not going to panic.
Playing basketball for 4 years.
I know. And there's a reason everybody's like, well, why would you trade for Mark Williams if you draft him? Because young big men usually need a year to get acclimated. He'll be a backup, at least for the beginning of the season, is my guess. And you've got somebody to play center and that he can learn from. So we can panic. You can hit the panic button if you like. I just don't see the point in it right now. But you know what? Vegas Summer League is still ongoing, right? And we're not there, but that doesn't mean that Vegas has left us. We, Shane and I, went and did something that I think everybody needs to experience when they go to Vegas. And you're going to need to see that. We're also going to talk about the Robert Horry hip check. So if you want an uplifting segment, stick with us. We'll be right after the break. Or we'll be back. We can be back after the break as well. We're talking about Circle K on the program today. I stopped there this morning because you know what? I needed some caffeine because while I had a good time in Vegas, I'm exhausted and I was not going to make it through this program or my drive into work without some caffeine, and my car needed gas. And I stopped at Circle K. And you know what's nice to know? That when you fill up, you're going to save each and every time when you're a member of the Inner Circle. You sign up, you're going to save 25 cents off your first 5 fill-ups. Just that easy. Then saving 3 cents every time you go to the pump per gallon. And after that, you hit the ESPO level, you're going to save 5 cents per gallon. But guess what? I got a little notification that said you've been here so many times this month, you're going to get 25 cents off per gallon just as a thank you. And I enjoyed that because guess what? When you come back from Vegas, sometimes you need a little extra money. So you can become a member of the Inner Circle by downloading that Circle K app and signing up for free. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. And yeah, you know what? I need to stretch my dollar further the rest of the summer after spending 5 days in Las Vegas. And Mountain America Credit Union can help me do that because they've been helping millions of members, for years now. And they have 100 branches throughout the West. So wherever you are, you can find them and they can help you. You can get 2 times the points on reward credit card purchases through July 31st. And that is necessary because you can use that to get great deals on travel rebates, gift cards, and event tickets. Plus, you can use that rewards card and watch the points pile up for gas, groceries, travel, home projects, and all other purchases. So it's just great. So you can redeem those reward points for a limited time only. Take advantage of it while you can. Details at macu.com/double. Loans on approved credit offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. These terms and conditions always apply. So I mentioned it on the other side of the break that we were going to take a look at something that Shane and I did in Las Vegas that each and every one of you should do. So let's take a look at that right now, Shane. Many of you in the Southwest Bias chat and many people on Twitter like to call me a clown. So I went to the one place in Vegas that I actually will fit in.
What is this place? What's going on?
I don't know. It's like a child's dream, a parent's nightmare. It's like if Vegas and Teletubbies and a circus had a baby. So back home in Phoenix, my daughter likes to think I'm a master at the claw machine. So I have to try my luck in Vegas because I suck on the tables. All right, here goes nothing. I'm gonna try to get a koala. Again, I'm a loser back home and in Vegas. All right, time to try to knock these completely off with a beanbag. Can I do it? I'm gonna use the Randy John. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do my competitor. I cannot. I gotta get a chicken in a pan here. I don't think I can do it, but we're gonna try. I've been called a clown and a chicken, so this works. Here we go. That was bad. Chicken soup. I can't win. I can't get away from basketball even when I come to Circus. And I found this thing. It's a freaking Lakers hoop. So there's only one thing I can do. It's like beer pong without the beer. One-handed while holding a mic. Yeah, that's right. Look at that. I shoot like Eddie Johnson, all right? I am so bad at this. Come with me and you'll see a man who can't win anything at Circus. It's been a tough day here at Circus, and, well, I've been around my people, the clowns. I haven't won much, so I found the one machine that I can actually win on. How do you win and I manage to not be able to pull anything off? You hide behind your little son on our show and then you win here. What are you choosing, Shane? Can I bring it? I'm going to go with the blue one. Thank you. Thank you. I don't walk away with nothing. I walk away with money from the ATM and something Shane won me. Shane, it is my wedding anniversary, but would you like to get married?
Boo! You stink!
So usually when I talk about big tops, I'm simply talking about clothes shopping. But today, I'm talking about the Adventure Dome. I'd say I'm gonna lose my lunch, but I haven't eaten it yet. Well, I guess we're actually gonna go on one of these. Canyon Blaster. Quite a name.
Here we go, let's go.
Why? Why are we doing this?
Woo! Oh, this is all so gross, too. Oh, my God. My canyon's blasted.
I'm fully blasted. We've officially been blasted, and that was something. I even lost my orange glasses on the ride, but luckily pinned them with my feet, so I'm not out of them here at Vegas. El Loco, it's not just what you are if you have a cheesy gordita wrap at 8 in the morning. It's also a roller coaster here at Circus Circus. Bad choices continue.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Welcome to El Loco. Inside the ride.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Espo, what did you think of your performance on El Loco today?
Well, I think I held my own. Really, at Summer League, it's about working on new skill sets, and I didn't know that I could go upside down and turn at the same time, so I think I'm really pulling it together here at Summer League.
Espo, during the ride, you said, quote, "Ah!" What did you mean by that?
Well, what was running through my mind was, "Ah!" And I stick with that. But I got to tell you, Shane and I were in full alignment on that idea.
All right, Espo, we only were able to ride a couple rides because we have a real job to do, but what would you give the Adventure Dome?
I would give the Adventure Dome 8 out of 10 Buscemi's. It was fantastic. Well, that was a lot of fun. Shane actually did give me that iguana, and I gave it to my daughter this morning. So I won points with my family, even though I could not win. No, I said Shane won.
Okay, good.
I did not say I won it because there's video proof I didn't. So I didn't want that to come back and bite me.
Also, there was video proof that I didn't include in the video that I beat Espo in one of those horse racing games where you roll the ball into the numbered holes.
Yes.
Smoked him.
Oh,
I decided not to include it.
He did, for my own protection, even though he then just outed me. Look, somebody on Twitter replying to the show called NBA Summer League like preschool for NBA players. These guys are toddlers. They're not even in kindergarten yet. So I liked that Captain Super calling on Twitter talking about it. It is What If Week here at PHNX. We are doing our PHNX ranks. It's ALLCITY doing it around all the cities as well. And today we are unveiling number 8 and number 7 on the list. And number 8 is an interesting one. It is whether or not what would have happened if the Phoenix Mercury didn't draft Diana Taurasi. And I think that this one's probably one of the more interesting ones because I don't think the WNBA works in Phoenix if you don't get DT. This city is very predicated on winning to keep people interested, predicated on personality, and predicated on stars. And Diana Taurasi brought all that. Obviously, championships in 07, 09, and 14. She was one of the most interesting characters in the WNBA for her entire time. And if you want to talk greatness, I still argue that she is the best athlete in Arizona sports history. She's the most decorated with championships, final MVPs. She's got 6 gold medals. This is not somebody that had just a good impact. She had a great impact, not just here, but on her entire sport overall. The all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. I think if they take Alana Beard or any of the other players on the board there at number 1, or if Diana doesn't go in that draft that they have the first pick, I don't think the Mercury are here. I think they are like the Portland Fire, the Houston Comets, the Cleveland Rockers. They're one of these teams that lasted for 4 or 5 years. in the WNBA, and then were contracted. And maybe Phoenix would be part of this expansion that they've got going on, like Cleveland and Portland are, and even Detroit that lost their team. But I feel like that probably would have been the path for the Mercury, because we know that the former disgraced owner was cheap, and the WNBA was not something that was a moneymaker. So I think that probably would have been the fate of it. Shane, do you see it any different if this team hadn't drafted Diana Taurasi? I don't think it would have been a successful, glorified WNBA franchise.
No, I think that you definitely have to run the real risk of the franchise not working here, but also it's basically like this: the Bulls not drafting Michael Jordan. That franchise is completely different, and they're probably one of the worst professional sports franchises ever.
I mean, they are without those Michael Jordan years.
So yeah, you can't. This is like you can't equate the ripple effect to anything. This is the best player of all time not being drafted by your team. And not only is she the best player of all time, she stayed the entire time she was here. So,
yeah. Let's take a look at number 7. And the fact that this is number 7 and not much higher is egregious to me. And I was, like I said yesterday, one of the people on the panel that decided how to rank these. And this was one that should have been higher. It's what if Robert Horry hadn't hip-checked Steve Nash into the scorers table in the 2007 NBA playoffs? And this one is one that I think cost the Suns a championship, because Amari Stoudemire, Boris Diaw come rushing off the bench. The NBA decides, you know what, we're actually gonna enforce this rule that we never have before and that we never will again. That will cost the Suns 2 guys that were paramount to them. The Suns would go down 3-2 after those guys missed Game 5, and they'd wind up losing in Game 6, and it was just a disappointment of a series. I still think the full-strength Suns were significantly better than that Spurs team, but that Spurs team had an edge that the Suns always seem to lack, really all the time, but in the 7 seconds or less seasons, I think outside of a Raja Bell clothesline, sometimes that team wasn't exactly the toughest, and that Robert Horry hip check really threw them for a loop and really hurt them. I actually think that this was probably one of the top 5 chances the Suns ever had to win a championship, and that's including 2 or 3 times that they went to the finals. I think this probably would have led to it. I mean, there's the whole other factor, the Donaghy factor that you don't even want to get into, because then you're trying to figure out what actually was going on with the crooked ref. But this in particular, the fact that the league reviewed it and continued to uphold those suspensions, this is a crazy one to me. And the implications, I think, were huge, because you wind up dealing Sean Marion not long after this, right? And because you hadn't won, you wind up having Mike D'Antoni leave not too long after this. I think if they win a title here, this 7 seconds or less Suns team stays longer with Sean Marion. You have Mike D'Antoni, and do they rattle off 2 or 3 championships over the next 5 years? Does it completely change how Suns fans view being Suns fans? Does it break the curse if Robert Horry doesn't do this? And of all the people in the world, that it had to be Robert Horry, right? That Robert Horry, a guy who was here, threw a towel on Danny Ainge's face, they had to trade him, who beat them with the Rockets and then had Lakers success and then was part of the Spurs success. It makes it that much worse. I feel like this one is such a huge what if moment in the history of this team, because they could not beat the Spurs in the playoffs. It looked like they were going to have a great chance, and instead suspensions completely kill that opportunity. Unjust suspensions in my mind still, because Amari and Boris simply stepped a few steps off the bench. They didn't rush in and start fighting anybody. They didn't throw any punches. They didn't do anything to truly escalate what was going on. They simply reacted by stepping a couple steps off the bench, which I think everybody would. Now you've seen coaches try to box out their players in that situation so they don't go anywhere. I think this one hurt big time. And Be Legendary makes a good point. He says, wasn't that after the Malice in the Palace incident? I can see why they enforced the rule. They didn't want that to happen again. I understand. And yes, this was not too long after the Malice in the Palace. But to me, there are ways to interpret a rule in certain situations. And that was what the league did not do. They did not look at the circumstance. If Diao and Amari had started a bigger brawl during that, if they had went into the crowd for some reason, sure, the Malice in the Palace should have played a part in that. But to me, that wasn't the case. You don't suspend them. They win. They likely go on to win a title. And then it's all right. That era of Phoenix Suns basketball is the best era of Phoenix Suns basketball ever. But that wasn't the case. Shane, what do you make of the what if of Robert Horry not hip checking Steve Nash into the scorer's table?
I mean, if they go on to win the series because of that, which they obviously have a much better chance, they win the title because
hands down. You
know what that team was that the Spurs swept. It was. Can you name the starters for that Cavaliers team that the Spurs swept?
So 2007, it would have been LeBron.
Yep.
It would have been.
It's pretty disgusting.
What was the guy that they claimed had a relationship with? Deshaun Stevenson. Was he in there?
Delonte West.
Delonte West.
No.
Excuse me.
That was before Delonte West.
Yeah, it was a bunch of nobodies. I mean, Big Z was part of that too.
The starting five they rolled out for Game 1 was Sasha Pavlicic.
Oh my God.
Larry Hughes.
Ugh.
Drew Gooden.
Oh my
then
God.
LeBron and Zadrunas.
Drew Gooden before he used shoe polish on his head. Yeah, I mean that, and I believe they beat, was it Utah in the Western Conference Final? I don't even remember. Yeah, it wasn't anybody of any real significance. So yeah, I think the Suns win a title. That 7 seconds or less era becomes the greatest era in Suns history. Steve Nash becomes the hands down greatest Sun of all time, regardless.
The Shaq is never on this team.
Yeah, Shaq. Yeah, Sean Marion stays. Amari Stoudemire's career is viewed differently. Mike D'Antoni is viewed differently. Like, there would be a lot of things that are fundamentally different for the Phoenix Suns if that was the case, if this hip check had not happened. That is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. We really appreciate each and every one of you being here. We appreciate the biased in the channel. That's what I'm going to call you guys. We appreciate you for taking part of it and hitting that like and subscribing as well.
They did beat the Jazz.
Thank you.
In the Western Conference Finals 4-1. Which they had a better lineup. Their starting lineup, I remember this team. This team was fun.
Darren Williams,
young Paul Millsap coming off the bench. Yeah, Darren Williams was the captain of the ship. But a good captain of a ship also has to have a good fish. And Derek Fisher was the 2-guard on that team. Mehmet Okur was the 3. AK-47 and Carlos Boozer. That team was awesome.
AK-47 underrated.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Underrated. He is Shane Diefenbach, the mustache behind the Mac. You can follow him at Shane Dief. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports. And remember, Summer League only matters in the things that these guys are working on. And when they don't have a point guard, yeah, it's truly pointless. Ahoy, hoy!
We all silly like the mayor.